Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to turn this light. Fat Cat Collections. And today I want to share with you guys a product I reviewed several months ago, and I want to come back to it and share it with you guys again because there's lots of wonderful products out there that although I may review them under the actual product name, a lot of people sometimes haven't even heard of this stuff or maybe won't even realize that they even want this device in their home. Now this is going to be something that it's not for an apartment. This is going to be something more for a home or a townhouse, something you own that you can actually alter the walls with. And this device is called the Iwalldock. And what this is this device right here. And I wanted to come back and share with you guys because I just put up a video on a smart retrofit alarm system called the Connected. And what that does, it basically replaces the motherboard in your current alarm system in your home, hardwired of course, when you have actual hardwired sensors in your doors, your sliders, your windows, maybe a motion sensor, your siren of course. And what it does, it replaces your old motherboard and converts it into a Wi-Fi enabled alarm system. Now you do need smart things to make it work, and there are some things you have to configure in there, but Nate over at Connected walks you through the whole process. It's really easy. But when I went ahead and put that in the other day and did a review, everybody keeps asking me, what is that on the wall? Is that the control panel? And technically, it is. And so what I've done is I reached out to Iwalldock, and I'm just going to zoom in on this real quick here. And basically what this is a dock that allows you to mount a tablet of, naturally, I think they only make it for the iPad. So the iPad Air, I have the Mini. And it allows you to wall mount your tablet. Now you can get it in a charging option, or you can get it in, I'm just going to zoom in again, then I'll talk to you guys in a second here. You can get it in a couple different variations. This one that I have is actually a charging model. And so basically what happens is you basically pop the iPad out, and in my case, sometimes it's a little bit tight in there because I don't really pull the device out too much. So it's pretty straightforward. You just pop it out by pressing down on the bottom here. I know I'm blocking you, but and pop it right out of the wall. And so what you're left with is basically a dock in the wall that's actually screwed in, and you have a power adapter that comes with it, or not power adapter, your power plug for this particular device, for the iPad you have, and it basically allows you to keep the device charged while in the wall. Now you do need, let me zoom out here for a second guys so I can continue to talk to you. I'm just going to pop this back in the wall now. So, if I want to go ahead and take this around the house, sit on the couch with it, I can do that. Now, I'm just going to pop it back in the wall here because I generally don't really use this tablet anymore. I really only use it for home control. And what this allows me to do, and I'm going to zoom back in so I can just give you guys an idea of some of the apps that I have on here. See if I can turn this a little bit there. Hopefully this doesn't fall. So, basically, I have my LifeX app. I have my Zomato cameras. Weather. I've done a couple things where I have a spectrum analyzer here, so this is kind of a cool feature. If I just for cool purposes, I just want to have a bunch of music on, some friends over, whatever, and this place is starting to get cranking, I can go ahead and turn this on. We'll go ahead and allow that. And so, whoops. You can see the microphone in the device is actually picking up my voice, and it just looks cool when you got music cranked up. It's just kind of an eye-catching feature that people are like, what is that, So that's just what I used it for. Again, I have the weather channel here so I can pull up my local weather. I also have the environment monitor for my Foobot upstairs so I can go ahead and check the environment of the environment conditions upstairs. What's also cool about this is if I go over to smart things right here. And so this is where I control the Connected alarm system. So right where this is located used to be my old alarm panel. And now this acts as my new alarm panel. So with smart things, I can basically just open that up and I can go over to Home Solutions and you can see armed, stay, or disarmed. And I can just set it right from there. Other thing is great about it is, again, on the LifeX bulbs that I have, or any of the other smart devices I have, I can just open up the app and basically control all those devices from one spot. And a lot of times I tend to leave the LifeX app open because a lot of times those are the ones down here I have the most of. So I turn those on or off. For some reason we're not loading up here. Go ahead and close it. Again, my iPad's a little old, so we'll just go ahead and close that here. Close all these here. Probably got too much open. And I'm not going to go through all the different apps, but you get the idea. You can basically have whatever app that's compatible with iOS on and be able to have that home control. The other part, I don't know why we're not loading up there. Probably have to reboot the damn thing. Oh, there it goes. So then I have the LifeX app open right now, and I can control my lights, anything that's LifeX in the house, of course. So that's cool, and it just looks really nice in the wall. And the reason I got this and I reached out to them is because, you know, a lot of times with technology, we get all these new devices. So tablets get better. They always come out with a new model. And what happens is, a lot of times, you forget that you have the old device. Even though it still works, you leave it sitting in a drawer somewhere, and before you know it, the battery's dead. And just like one of my iPods, I have one of the original iPods, you can't even charge it anymore because I let it sit for too long. And it's not worth it, really, to have somebody rip that apart and put a new battery in it. It's kind of complicated. It's not. That's the only negative thing I have to really say about Apple products. And nowadays, a lot of products, that there is no easy way to replace the battery. Fortunately, some of the cell phones I've had over the years, I use Virgin Mobile. I'm happy with them. It's like $38 a month for unlimited everything. And their phones are really cheap if you want to do a new one or get a new one. Like $100 for an octa-core, $79 for an octa-core I paid. The only problem with that phone, it's got a built-in battery, but other phones, a lot of their other models, actually have a battery you can easily remove and replace without having to take it somewhere or do some extensive work on it. Like this, if I ever had to replace the battery, I wouldn't be capable of doing that. You have to, you know, be very careful with how you remove the screen. It's just a nightmare. So, with that being said, this device, having it charged fully at all times, allows me to have this wall mounted. It always works. It's always got a charge, and I don't have to worry about, you know, am I going to let the battery drain down, forget about it, and then have this useless device that was pretty expensive. So it's a great way to showcase a tablet on the wall. You know, if you want to, depending on where you put this, you could have basically, you know, YouTube on. You could have, I can control my music from here. So I demonstrated the other day when I did my whole smart home tour. You should definitely check that out. If I want to cast directly from here to any of the Google Homes, any of the Google Chromecast, I can do that. So it's a really nice way to be able to just have a little more control in your house. And again, for me, I love the fact that I can open up my Zomato camera app and have all my cameras right there. So from downstairs, somebody rings the doorbell, I can run right over and take a quick peek. Now, they do make this in several different finishes. They have like a dark wood, they have a stainless steel, a white, the gloss black you see here, and a few other different models. I opted to go with the gloss black. I was going to go with the wood because I figured it would kind of match my decor. But he says that's not, the guy reached out to says not the most popular one. So I opted to go with one that was the most popular. And after the fact, I'm glad I did because my thermostat has that gloss black and my iPad is gloss black as well. So what I would recommend is if you guys have one of these and you want to get an Iwalldock, is maybe to get one that matches your iPad. You know, they come white or black. And so with the black, you can see that the frame blends right into the iPad where it actually doesn't look like a tablet in the wall. It looks like it's actually something that you put in the wall that was designed to do that. So, I mean, great device. The only thing you have to do is be able to run a cable into the USB charger. So in my case, I have on this adjacent wall inside the closet the alarm system and a wall outlet in there. If you didn't have that, you might have to just snake the line down and punch out and plug it in or get into the back of the box. One way or another, there's a way you can do it, and it's not really difficult. Other great thing I want to mention is that this device you can put anywhere. You don't have to be between the studs like a lot of in-wall devices. This one's directly over the stud, and all you basically do, they give you a template, you mark the wall, you take a sheetrock saw, super easy, cut out that exact size that, you know, the template makes it really easy because you don't have to measure anything. And just make sure it's level, of course. You want to make sure the hole is level. You cut that out, and you basically, if you're going to attach it between studs or some brackets, you basically squish the sheetrock between the two brackets. In my case, I used one bracket and I used one wall stud. And so this thing isn't going anywhere. So, really cool device. I just want to get another close-up of it so you guys can see it here. It's one of the nicest, actually it is the nicest in-wall, and even on camera, you can barely even see the border of the tablet. It just looks like it was meant to be there. You know, we can open it with Zomato. I mean, it really is an awesome device. I like it so much, eventually, if I ever got my hands on an iPad or something, I was going to close that, on an iPad that, you know, somebody didn't want anymore, wasn't using, I would definitely want to get one of these devices to put, like, maybe in my bedroom, or, you know, even if you had this in the bathroom somewhere. It's just a great way to be able to, you know, you could throw on Netflix on this. Whatever you want to do with your iPad, you can do in an in-wall setting. So, all right, guys, well, that's just another update. Super great addition to the house. Worked out perfectly now that I can control the alarm system there. It's just basically a go-to for any of your smart home devices. You know, if I get a phone call, it'll register on here. I mean, whatever you want to do, it's just a great spot to have this in my kitchen. If I don't have my phone on me and I want to look up a quick recipe or check I got a dry bar I put in over here. If I want to check up a drink ingredients, I can do that right here. It's fantastic. If you wanted to, you could also control your thermostat, which wouldn't make any sense because it's right next to the tablet, but to each his own, right? All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please drop a comment, click like, and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day. Take care.